Hello lovelies, welcome back for another episode of Skin Talk with a very special guest. Shannon and her sister Erica started their makeup company Shades by Shan in 2018 at their mom's basement in San Francisco, California. They've built this beautiful brand from the ground up, and their product line is continuously expanding. They are currently available at all JCPenney locations around the US and online. They also run a nonprofit foundation in honor of their mom, naming it the Mama Berries Foundation, which supports single moms, donating a portion of every Shades by Shan purchase to single-parent households. In this video today, she'll be sharing her story with us, tips and advice for starting your brand, and lots of other gems. All the while, we'll also be doing a facial for her. She is a dry skin type with concerns of aging and melasma. This is an intro 50-minute facial. Please comment below any questions or your experiences in this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, watch to the end, and enjoy. Well, hey everyone, there's a camera over here, camera up here.
Hi, we're on
You can look up here.
Okay.
We are blessed with the presence of SHANBERRIES on Instagram, but her full name is Shannon.
Yes.
She is the owner and co-owner and CEO of Shades by Shan, which is a makeup line that you launched how many years ago?
Oh, it's going on 6 years.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And she has just killed it. Yeah, I mean, this girl, like, what can't you do?
Oh my gosh.
And just very inspirational. Your mom as well.
Yes.
And I'm very honored to have you here, and I would love for you to share with my followers, like, your journey, and you know, ask you some questions throughout, just to kind of help people watching to level up and inspire them. And so yeah, thank you again so much for coming.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. This is a treat. I was telling her I haven't gotten a facial in like 5 years, and that's it's probably longer than that.
Right. Well, that's the price sometimes you pay as a business owner and a mom and influencer. So yeah, let me look at your skin really quickly.
Okay.
Here.
Judge away.
Okay. Great. Tell me about your skin.
So my skin is like the Sahara Desert. It just never wants to stay hydrated. I really don't do much for my skin either. I'm maybe partially to blame. I just wash it and then I put some cream on, and that's my skincare regimen. I do have some like melasma that popped up while I was pregnant. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation. Freckles, because I didn't take care of my skin in the sun, and age is starting to catch up with me.
Okay. Yeah, visually you look like a dry skin type. I mean, maybe a little bit more noticeable pores in the nose area where, you mentioned you had a little bit of congestion going on. But overall, still really good elasticity to your skin. It still feels very like tight and bouncy, which is great. Just seeing a little bit of some lines forming in the nasolabial folds right there. But everywhere else looks pretty good. Maybe a teeny bit around the eye area. But yeah, we can definitely target the pigmentation. Again, we're just here for a classic intro facial. But of course, I would love for you to come back and we do more in-depth stuff on you to target that more, because pigment's deep in the skin, especially melasma, can be, you know, it's very hormonally driven, and you know, and then I see you have a little bit of like breakout kind of going on in the forehead.
Yeah, that was probably because I haven't washed my makeup brushes. Who knows? I don't know. I usually haven't gotten pimples in so long, and then I was like, let me go wash my makeup brushes real fast.
Okay. And this also could be from like on this area. It could be from like maybe some hair products or
my pillow. Like who knows?
Yeah, and I notice even on your scalp it's a little We can add some nice. Is your hair like, is it wash day today or?
I'm going on like day 8 of not washing my hair.
I do have some nice like oil I can put in your hair and
Thank
massage
you.
that in a little bit. And then I did mention to you we're going to do an enzyme. So it's going to be a pineapple enzyme,
Okay.
which is a bromelain enzyme that helps to eat away at dead skin, brighten, smells amazing. And then we also have a sweet cream foam mask that we'll do.
Love it.
And I know you mentioned the pores,
Mm-hmm.
but even just exfoliating it will kind of open that up a bit. We'll soften this up with the steam, and we'll do some extractions.
Music to my ears.
We'll have mask massaging worked into that, and chit chat while we do all of that.
Sounds great.
Okay,
Can't
cool.
wait.
Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get started, and usually what I like to start out with is just tell us about, you know, your journey and like what led you here. Like if there were any maybe like pivotal points that you felt really like led you in this direction, and just maybe, yeah, kind of your
Okay.
journey to here at this point.
Okay. I guess my journey starts when I was in radio. So I was a TV and radio host here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I started as an intern at a station called 99.7 Now, working on their morning show. And I was just always very hungry. Like I knew once I got that internship, I was like, I don't care if, like, I will clean toilets, I will scrub the floor, like whatever I need to do in order to keep my foot in the door. I was always like the first one there, the last one to leave. Like, what else could I do? How else could I help? Like, how could I be of assistance? I was always that person because I knew that there was other interns like wanting the same job. So how is that going to set me apart from everybody else? So
Yeah.
I worked my way up. I worked for free for a very, very, very long time. And then I got offered the assistant producer role. And which sounds great, but it's like they paid minimum wage back then. And then I got the midday show on the station, and so I was the youngest radio jock here in the Bay Area for a while. And then I got asked to fill in for the executive producer of the morning show, and then I got offered the job as executive producer, and then I was a co-host of the morning show on 99.7. So
Wow.
that's kind of how I got my start.
Yeah.
And that was all about 12, 13 years ago. And then I was, it was CBS owned 99.7 back then. And so I was in the CBS building. I was like, I'm going to knock on as many doors as I can and introduce myself to all the television people too, because that would be dope to do TV. And so little did I know, of course, I was that girl being like, hi, I'm Shan, hi, like whatever I could do. And so when they had TV shows, they were like, oh, you know, that girl would be actually really good for like hosting this show. So I had about 5 TV shows at the same time. I was doing radio. So I love, you know, my blood was in broadcasting, and I've always loved it. But my mom, who immigrated here from Ecuador, she always instilled in my sister and I, like, you have to start your own company someday. You have to do your own thing, because you're never going to make money working for somebody else.
Wow. What a blessing to have a mom, though, that had that vision. Because
Yeah.
not a lot of parents do. At least my parents, they're like, you know, that generation that was like, you need a 9 to 5, you need a house by the time you're 25, and,
Yeah.
you know, the standard way of going about life. So
Right.
that's a huge blessing. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mama.
Yeah.
Mama Berries.
Mama Berries, yeah. So
I love watching her on your,
Oh my
on your
God, thank
content,
you. She's
too.
crazy. But we love her. So yeah, she always instilled that in my sister and I really didn't know what that was going to be, but I knew that someday I wanted to start my own thing.
Yeah.
And so this was back in the heyday of, you know, like Kylie Jenner just started her makeup line, and like these like celebrities were starting their makeup lines, and
I was that person with like 6 screens open trying to get this palette that was dropping in these lip kits, and then
yeah, because you're really kind of known for those lip kits, right?
Yeah, our lip sets are like, you know, probably our top sellers, but
yeah,
you know, I was that everyday makeup junkie, going to Sephora every week, going to Ulta, like trying to find the latest and greatest, like, oh, what is that? What are you wearing? Okay, I'm gonna go to the store and buy that, and trying out new things. And then, you know, I realized that I would just go on these hauls and then go home and try everything on and be like, wow, this actually isn't really that good. And I spend so much money on it, right? And you're like, wait, but how do these companies come out with all this makeup? And it's like, not the best.
Yeah.
And so I had this idea of like, hey, well, I love makeup. I want to start my own company. And so I turned to my sister Erica, and she was a bigwig executive in Asia. She had been gone for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And she had been working abroad. So I asked her, I'm like, hey, I have this idea of starting a makeup company. Would you help me start it? And she was like, hey, you know, I'm getting burnt out at my job. I actually, like, if you're serious, I will quit my job this week and move back home and help you start it for 6 months.
Wow.
And then after the 6 months, I'm going to go get my big girl job again, and I'll kind of like leave you to do your thing. I was like, okay, sounds good. So when she moved back, we're like, okay, well, we want to start this company, but how could we also be impact driven and give back to the community in a positive way? Because also a lot of companies nowadays, it's all about just making money, but like, really, what are you doing for the world? Like, how are you helping?
Yeah.
How are you leaving a legacy behind and giving back?
And and I see you doing that. Like, you're always trying to give back to the community.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you have this program for single moms.
Yeah,
that's awesome, and I totally like want to do that when I have my own brand too. One of my goals is to have a skincare brand.
Yeah, so you should do it,
for
girl.
sure. We want to have that aspect too. I've always loved mentoring young girls, and that would definitely be a part of it. So that's awesome. That you're walking the walk. You're not just talking it.
Exactly, and I feel like, you know, I've gotten to the point in my life with the community behind me, rallying for me, and really just like rooting me on. And so I was like, how could I give back to these people that I owe so much to? And so I was looking at different charities, and really nothing struck a chord with me. And then the answer was right in front of our face. It was our single mom.
Oh.
So we said, okay, let's find charities that help single parents in need. And back then, 6 years ago, we really couldn't find anything that solely focused on helping single parents that were struggling.
Yeah, there really is not much resources.
And so I turned to my sister and I said, well, people start nonprofits all the time, right? Like, you hear about nonprofits every day. Why can't we start our own?
Yeah.
And so we set out to start our own 501c3 nonprofit, and we named it the Mama Berries Nonprofit Organization in honor of our mom.
Aww.
So whenever you buy Shades by Shan Cosmetics, a portion of proceeds goes to help single parents in need through our nonprofit. We know that bills pile up for single parents, and no one is there to help them. So we're that resource.
That's so dope.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So we started 6 years ago. Actually, June is going to be our 6th year anniversary. We started out of our mom's basement in San Francisco, and, you know, packaging orders, figuring out how to use a label printer, figuring out how to like print out packing slips, and like how to get boxes, and what's the best bubble wrap, and how to set up our Shopify account. We started 6 years ago, and now we are in 610 JCPenney stores across the country. We are one of their top 5 beauty brands. We've been featured in Forbes, Allure, Elle, Oprah.
Oh my God!
Like, it's just
been a dream.
It's been a dream, but you know,
so much work.
It's so much work.
That nobody sees that you do on a regular basis to make that all happen. It seems so seamless.
Yeah, and so
cool. By the way, this is the pineapple enzyme, so you may feel a slight tingle on the skin. How's it feeling?
Oh, it feels really good and smells amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, people do think like, oh, you're an overnight success, but really, there's no overnight success that happens. It definitely takes, like, an overnight success takes about 7 years. So I feel like we're not even there yet, you know, like, what can happen in another year? What can happen in another 6 years?
Yeah.
You know, we started from the bottom. Like, we started at our local malls here at Stonestown, popping up
I
with
remember, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Like, Paula was, like, posting you originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her being at, like, one of your pop-ups.
Oh yeah, I was like, girl, you're gonna come and work the iPad. Like, you're gonna, like, we had it was all hands on deck from our family. Like, I remember I was dating my now husband. I'm like, we need your pickup truck. We need to, like, pack this up with, like, inventory and, like, our little 6 by 6 foot table, our chairs, and that was our highlight back then. Like, oh my gosh, I get to pop up at my local mall. This is so dope.
Yeah.
Like, this is so cool. It was such an honor being there. And then, you know, now getting to be in one of the biggest retailers in the world is just
so dope.
Insane, right? But it really truly does take hard work. We mess up, like, troubleshooting, figuring things out, and coming from a world where I'm not a makeup artist. People, you know, think I'm a makeup artist, but
I was
in reality, I'm a businesswoman.
Yeah, you just love
I love makeup.
You saw a problem and you wanted to bring a solution to the market.
I was that everyday consumer, like, okay, but how can we just be consistent?
Yeah.
How can we be inclusive? Like, I didn't see any Latinas on the shelves. Like, how can we bring our people and have a voice and just bring quality and consistency each and every time? So we did that, and then also giving back to the community. How can we help and give back and make a difference? So it's been an amazing journey so far, and in between that, I had left the morning show, and I had 2 surprise babies that were not planned. And so, you know, going through postpartum depression, you know, it's a huge life shift becoming a mom, especially when you don't think you're ready. You know, I've definitely battled, and I've had my silent struggles that people don't really see because I wasn't really ready to talk about it. And then also having this business with family, you know, there's all these struggles that, like, people don't really see, that it's not all just beautiful, like, makeup campaigns. It's hard work from the ground up with crying and tears and, like, oh my gosh, how are we going to figure this out? It takes a lot of work.
Because you still have to deal with real life problems, quote unquote.
Absolutely.
And also the weight of having a business and being an influencer too. So
Exactly.
Totally get that. But man, you have done it with flying colors. Literally flying colors at her wedding. I'm gonna put a clip here so you can see how amazing her wedding that she just got married earlier this month.
Earlier this month. I know.
Cabo?
In Cabo, I wanted to get married. I wanted to do a destination wedding because I'm like, I'm not trying to have anybody tell me to turn off the music at 10 p.m., you know? Like, I want to party all night long.
You did that.
Thank you.
It looked amazing.
Thank you. We had a blast.
Okay, well, I'm going to let this enzyme sit for just a couple minutes longer. We're going to do a foot leg massage.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you enjoy that. We'll do a little clip of me doing that, and then we'll continue our conversation. Three cameras are rolling again.
All right, let's go. All angles.
Okay, so I think my question for you may be more about social media. What have you found is like the best strategy for engagement, for, you know, growing your following? I think really mainly like growing the following, because it's easy to get a viral video, but it's hard to get people to follow. Like, what makes you think like people follow you for?
For me, I was a little lucky, granted that I was in radio for so long, so I had those people that had followed me from the radio station. But also when but then, you know, I hit a plateau where it's like, okay, I've only grown so much.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, you know, not really caring so much because I was just so busy. I had my kids. I'm like, it's kind of like the last thing that I'm on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Girl, so I had to do what I had to do, and I had to outsource a girl who runs my social media.
I need help.
You need help. And
so bad.
as a mom, as a woman, we have a lot of pride, and it takes a lot for us to ask for help.
And are you like kind of
help.
type A, where like you like things a certain way? And
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very much like, okay, I would have maybe like made this a little tighter or whatever,
Yeah.
and I would give my feedback. But like at the end of the day, everything is content. Everything is content. So just post your stuff. You know,
Yeah,
like it doesn't
yeah.
have to be so
perfect
or edited. And I feel like for my followers, they don't really like that. More candid, real, and
yeah, and then just I think what your point
mm-hmm.
can be said is like not stressing about it. Like, oh, I need more followers, I need more views,
Yeah.
and not do it because I want a certain amount of views or likes or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's like you have to kind of go into your platforms with that chill type of mindset, but also be consistent.
Yeah.
Which you are consistent. I do notice like you are very consistent with posting. So
yeah,
that's key.
I try my best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some weeks you got it, some weeks you're just like, well, shoot, that, you know.
Yep.
But
I'm
you
in
know,
a-
my
I'm in a
story,
whoop week this past couple
or
weeks.
like my stories will be lit.
Let me spray you really quickly
for it.
with some cucumber toner.
That smells so good. But yeah, and then just, I think being funny, being real, like doing
Yeah,
relatable stuff.
Yeah,
That's
doing
what
content like that. too.
Yeah, where I'm like, oh, that was hella funny, or like, oh, she's hella cute, or I love what she said about this. Then you're gonna get a follow. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Skin's already looking so much more hydrated
Yay.
and bright. But anyways, okay, and then my next question would be about like actually starting your makeup brand. Like, was it difficult to, you know, find the right, I don't even know where to start. Like, where would you even start if you wanted to like build a makeup brand?
First thing is first, you're gonna want to source suppliers, right?
Yeah.
Because you need a product. And don't just go with the first person that you find. You have to go and like compare.
Yeah.
So you have to go look at suppliers. You have to try out the formula. You have to play around with it. Did you have any adverse reactions? I mean, makeup is just, there's so much that goes into it, because it's not just like, oh, here's a eyeshadow palette. It's like, okay, well, what's your ingredients?
Mm-hmm.
What's your packaging? What's your logo? What's your font? Did you have all the required like ingredient list on there? Did you have your terms and conditions on your website? Like, what, you know, there's so much that goes into it. Like, are you using the correct ingredients that don't have like are you like following MOCRA? Are you following like all these new rules and regulations that the government is putting in place? It's like there's so much that goes into it. But the first things first is I would source a good supplier. If you like the stuff, then create a logo, and then
like, how did you do that while, like, when you first started? I mean, obviously you don't have the capital you have now to have other people working for you, and like, what would you suggest for someone who, like, I mean, doesn't have much to begin with?
My sister and I started this company both with $2,500 each.
Wow.
And now it's a multi-million-dollar business. So
dope. That gave me the chills, because I want to say that's my goal. I named my channel Journey to Being a 7-Figure Esthetician.
Yeah.
Because I do dream of having a company that's in the millions.
And you can do it. The thing
Love
is,
that for you.
The thing is just starting. I feel like a lot of people are like, well, how, like, what if this, what if that, or you know what, I'm gonna wait for this, or I'm gonna wait for that. It's like, if I would have waited 5 years, I wouldn't be here 5 years later, you know? Like, and if you're not embarrassed about your first launch, then you launch too late. You're gonna be embarrassed. You're gonna look back and be like, what the heck were we thinking? Oh my gosh, like,
that rose gold matte packaging. Like, that was us back in the day. But people, like, you would be surprised at how much people just want to support, you know? And people don't care. People just, like, if, like, people in your circle, and you would be surprised at how you'll realize strangers are more supportive than your own friends.
Girl. Preach. It's very true. It's sad, but it's very true.
It's so true. Like,
I've had a couple like longtime friends that I feel are genuinely supportive, but yeah, from the jump, like my family was not like, my dad was like, "You're gonna go and do facials?" Like, he didn't understand what, and I told him, like, you can be an influencer, you can do YouTube, all that, and he's like,
they don't,
you're not gonna have benefits, you're gonna do this. My grandma, who always supported me and everything, was very, like, doubtful of it when I first told her I was going to rent a space and everything. So, sometimes it is, like, the people that, you're really close with, that you take their advice very to heart. And it can be a little disappointing sometimes, but at least, like, for you had, your mom's support, your sister's support, so that's a huge blessing. But for some people, like myself, I'm sure anyone watching, may not have that support. So.
I mean, I didn't, like, my mom was supportive of me getting into radio, but at a certain point, after like 4 years, she's like, "They're not paying you. What are you doing? Like, go get a job where they, like, people actually care." But I knew deep down, I was like, "Mom, I know what I'm doing. I know the work I'm putting in. Like, I know, just give me some time. It's going to work itself out." And it ended up working itself out. So don't listen to the noise. Focus on your dream, work hard, be consistent, and realize, like, yes, you will mess up. Yes, you will encounter problems, but it's all about troubleshooting. Even the biggest mega makeup corporations that I've spoken to, they're like, "Oh yeah, we deal with that all the time." Like, it's just, like, I always say, I'm a firefighter. I'm constantly putting out fires. Okay, like, "Oh, what's the problem today? Oh, that. Okay, how? It's what? Am I just gonna give up? No. You just, okay. How are we gonna fix this? How do you troubleshoot? Make a decision and move on. If you want if makeup's what you want to do, source a supplier, get a logo, slap a logo on some packaging, and start selling your product. Like, make a Shopify. Go to your local malls. Ask them if you can, like, rent a little table. We used to pay like a few $100 to just, like, post up in our local mall and just sell makeup. Like, we had a spinning wheel, a wheel of fortune, which we still have, but I remember standing there and being like, lady, come spin the wheel to win a free lip gloss. That is a scrappy that's how scrappy we were, and we still are. We're not scared of being like that. And we used to be, like, I used to say, "Oh, we have everything out of our mom's garage. We're working out of our mom's garage," and my sister would be like, "Don't say that. Like, that doesn't sound good. Like, people are gonna think we're, like, they're gonna think different of us." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But now it's like, no, that's our story. Like, that's our identity.
That's, like,
and
Amazon started out of a freaking garage.
Exactly. Apple started out of a garage, right? We had to make mistakes to learn what to do for the next time, So it's just definitely been a learning curve and a lot of growth as well.
Whew. That is very inspirational, even for me, because, like, I've offered courses and coaching and things like that, and there definitely has been some occasions where you're putting out fires, and I'll admit, like, it definitely, like, was kind of discouraging after putting, like, my heart and soul into some of these projects. And I will admit, I have kind of taken a little pause just to, like, focus on myself too, other, like, personal things going on, but, like, just, like, being afraid of like someone not being, like, happy with your work, or unsatisfied with a product or whatever. And but you're right, it's just what comes with.
You don't think I'm afraid? You don't think I'm afraid? I'm afraid every day. I'm afraid, like, what are people gonna say? What are people gonna think? Are people gonna like my makeup? Are people gonna like our packaging? Are people gonna, like, what? Like, I'm afraid. Like, it's all this imposter syndrome that I feel like, let's just stop even saying that, because I didn't even know what that was until a couple months ago, where it's like, oh, well, it's this, like, internal voice in your head that says that you're not good enough. And it's like, we all have that. Like, even the biggest CEOs in the country. Like, we don't know what we're doing. We're all just here figuring it out, you know, echándole ganas and figuring it out as we go.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, don't listen to those inner thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just push yourself to start, because then the rest will follow. You'll figure it out along the way. You'll make those mistakes. You'll troubleshoot, and then the next time you won't make those same mistakes.
Yeah.
You'll make different mistakes. You'll make other mistakes.
It'll be a new lesson to learn.
Yes.
Wow. That's so awesome. And this is something I asked my other guest the other week. I asked her, like, how do you balance now being a mom of two and doing everything that you do? Like, is there... I feel like I know what you're going to say, but sometimes,
Balance.
like, there is kind of a little strategy. So I'm wondering, if do you have a strategy at all for, like, trying to balance
That's
the
another
two?
thing I want people to stop saying is balance. Like, what the fuck is balance? Like, what is that? You know, like, no, we don't have it figured out. There's not, like, one thing that I do to, like, every single day. No.
Yeah.
We're in survival mode. As moms, we just freaking figure it out. Like, every day is different, okay? Like, one day my son is sick and has bronchitis, and then my daughter falls down and hits her head, and we're in the emergency room. And then yesterday I text you, like, girl, I have to take my dog to the emergency room. Because,
for reals.
you know, there's no such thing as balance. We just are out here figuring it out, doing our best. I'm freaking grinding. I'm working. I'm on a plane every few weeks going to, like, New York, Dallas, Chicago, like, LA.
Yeah.
I'm just out here freaking floating around because I'm, like, delirious, but I'm just trying my best.
Yeah,
And I'm,
you're
you
just
know,
that hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm deliriously hungry.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no balance. There's just sometimes where, like, days are better than others. Days are less busier than others. I cry at least once a week. That's just my life. I have to let it out. But, you know, I have my release. I'm starting to take more care of myself. Like, I'm starting to do Pilates every day, which I would have never thought in a million years that I would be a workout girly.
Yeah.
But I am. I'm getting there. But, you know, it's still not balanced. Like, I didn't sleep at all last night.
Yeah,
my son
same.
woke up with a night terror, and then he woke up at 5:30 in the morning. So there's no balance. It's just we out here trying to function, girl.
Yep. I hear you. I definitely hear you.
Just going with the flow and taking it as it comes. And
I agree.
sometimes I have my good days and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
But we don't give up. We just keep pushing because that's the kind of people we are.
But anyways, we're going to let this mask sit. It's from SkinCeuticals. It's like a restorative mask. And then we got a nice rose quartz eye mask on you. And now I'm going to, like, let you enjoy this part. We're going to do an arm and hand massage, shoulder neck massage, and then we'll finish it out with some products and wrap up the video.
Perfect.
Okay. So that rosemary scalp treatment I used on you is from the Innate Life.
Okay.
It's it's got 15 herbal extracts, and it's like all naturally derived, and it's a small business.
Oh wow.
And yeah, they've been sending me products, and I've been really loving it. This really helps with like hair growth.
Ooh.
It has a bunch of different oils in it that like stimulate hair growth and help with like dryness. And now we're gonna put some finishing products on you, give you that final glow. First, I'm going to spray you with some lactic acid spray, stem cell mist. Let's put some serum on you. Of course, you know, my go-to. I'm sure everyone on this channel is sick of it, but it's the Vital C anti-aging serum from Image. It's got, I like to say, like a 3-in-1 serum. It's got peptides for fortifying the collagen and elastin in your skin. It's got that vitamin C in there and some hyaluronic acid to lock in the hydration in your skin.
Do you cleanse in the morning too?
I do, just because I feel like a lot of oils and gunk get on your face at night. You know, that's when your body's resting, repairing, and I just want to have a fresh start in the morning. It just wakes me up too. So I would use like earlier in the service I used kind of more of just like a creamy cleanser on you. Is the cleanser using a like a foamy one or a gel one?
Foamy one.
Okay. That could be a little more drying for you. You might want to do a double cleanse at night where you follow with a hydrating cleanser.
Okay.
That way it's adding some moisture back to your skin. Because I do like a foamy one, I feel like it gets the gunk off, and because you are a little teeny, maybe acne prone with the little breakouts going on, you could use that and then follow it at night with a second cleanse. Let's see, what sunscreen do I want to put on you? Let's go in with the matte SPF from Image, which I will say, sadly, this formula they discontinued. So I'm just using the very last bits of it.
That's so sad when people discontinue the good stuff.
I know. They made a new formula, and I'm not crazy about it. I'm sorry, Image, for saying this. But I'm just being, I always keep it real here on my channel. Like, they did not come out with a good alternative. I'm sorry. But this one is great because it's oil free and it's mattifying, but it's not that like harsh mattifying, you know, formula. It's still very moisturizing and leaves your skin with a nice brightness, but not like too much grease.
You have magic hands.
Thank
Do
you.
people tell you that? Like,
yeah, you know,
gosh.
that's what I love about what I do.
Don't want this to end.
Oh, I know. Well, I definitely want you to come back.
Yes,
we can
I'm
do
coming
more
back.
In-depth service, and we'll chat a little more later about, you know, what promo I'm gonna give you to be able to give your people.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. You guys have to come see her. She's amazing.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna send you off with just some magic dust to end the service. My little nano mister here. And I'm gonna sprinkle you, like literally, and then magically with just more love, more success, more money.
Thank you.
More time for yourself
you
as
too,
well.
Girl, sprinkle yourself too.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna spray you right now. And actually, we're getting some new machines in here soon too, so we'll be able to do those on you really soon.
She has all the latest and greatest, guys.
I'm trying. You know, that's another thing too, is you gotta stay with the trends and like what's the newest things coming out. It's hard with like me, I get very comfortable with what I like to use. But like there's so many great things always coming out, and so being an influencer has forced me to keep up with the trends and stuff.
So I'm sure you have to do the same. Like, what's next with Shades by Shan? Like, is there a new product coming out that you can't talk about, or like, you know, or what?
We could
what's
talk about it.
Okay.
So we are in the last stages of formulating our foundation.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so we are
Okay.
coming out with 40 shades, y'all.
Wow.
40
We
shades.
need that inclusivity.
Absolutely. You know, we're all about that at
Yeah.
Shades by Shan. And then concealer. So to top it off with your foundation, concealer. And it's, when I tell you, it is like butter. Like everything that you are going to put on your face, it's like a million times better than what's on the market right now. Because we've been working on this for years. And the things that have gone viral, it's better than the things that have gone viral. So
wow. Love the
get ready.
enthusiasm.
Get
I'm
ready, y'all.
I know. I still need to try some of your stuff.
Oh my god! Oh,
like,
and I was gonna bring you some, and I freaking forgot. Okay, well
next time
I'll drop some off for you.
I would love to try your stuff.
Yeah.
Been wanting to. I just have been taking a makeup pause. I have so much of
You
it.
guys, she
so
looks
I'm like,
freaking amazing, y'all. Like I need,
but like
class
buying
from
more.
her.
You know, like
yes,
buying more because I'm like, I need to use up what I have, and then I'll buy more.
Oh my gosh! Oh, you look amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do a video or something maybe together with the makeup. Okay, sorry, this camera wasn't on when we did the final like reveal of her skin.
Okay.
So let's show them again.
Oh my gosh,
It looks
I
so
feel
good.
amazing.
Yay.
You guys have to come check her out. She's just like the ish here in the Bay. Like if you don't come to her in the Bay,
You're
what are you
missing
even
out.
doing? Yeah, you are missing out. You're so okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna let you change now, and make sure you follow her on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, and like it if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys back here for a new one next week. And until then, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.